Started with a topic today we were going to get into. I think I put in the title something like unproven stars or something like that. Yeah, like, the risk of unproven stars. So it's interesting. The reason why I kind of had this idea is if you look in social media and you look at what's going on right now, there's a lot of talk. Well, the newest talk is actually what happened with Giddey. He actually he's in some trouble now in regards to similar to the Wander Franco stuff. You know about that. Like, underage girl. Now they have to prove it. Now they're being investigated and stuff like that. But the similarities I could say between him and Wander and the situation is obviously they have cards. They have sports cards that people like to collect. And they're hot rookies. They're young. Giddey's 20, Wander's 21, 22, something like that. So the point is that we get caught up with the hype. We get caught up with this guy could be the next Babe Ruth, the next whatever. And then generally it never happens. But what happens is that their card prices get so high that the fall could be so much worse, if that makes any sense. So again, we're seeing with Giddey, we're seeing it with Wander. Also, part of the fall is because, the prices were at peak highs in 2020, 2021. But in general, you're still buying off hype that, potentially you have a lot of downside. And another group of people I was thinking about too, in regards to this, is how about players like Zion Williamson? Remember the Zion hype when he was a rookie? It was crazy. Everybody's going to the stores trying to get those cards. And now what's going on with Zion? He is playing. He's not hurt technically, even though I don't even want to get into it. I could go on a rant right now about the NBA because I play fantasy, and the NBA, you don't know who's playing or not because everyone has my toe hurts or my leg hurts or I'm tired, or it's just crazy. But the point is that Zion is playing at the moment, but he's not living up to. They were calling him the next LeBron, right? Everybody's the next LeBron. But he wasn't living up. He's not currently living up to that hype. And I know that like his cards are going for sometimes in the six figures, which is incredible for a player, again, that did not prove anything. He was great in college and stuff like that. But now look what's going on. Another person I could think of in regards to this topic is Ja Morant. He's in a 25-game suspension right now. He's going to come back. And I feel like, he's so good that people are going to probably dismiss what happened. But the point is that his cards were super, super high. He got caught with the whole gun stuff twice. and what happens? His card prices tank. If you bought high, you're probably getting burned. And it's just a risk, man. It's just a risk. So then it comes to the point of the story is, obviously it's fun and sexy to buy the young guys because you have upside, I guess, depending on where you buy. Or is it like safer, a lot of people would say, just to buy veterans, Hall of Famers, vintage? That's that's a lot of people's answers to going, not buying the Zions and the Jaws and things like that. So what do you like? I didn't even think about Bowman. That's a whole different thing. Bowman first and stuff like that. You don't even know, those people don't even make the majors sometimes. So what do you think in regards to like, not your strategy, but what do you feel more comfortable with, the vets, the Hall of Famers, or like, do you like to dip your toe into the upside?
Yeah, this is a really interesting conversation. There's so many layers to it, but I would say that I've kind of gone to a different side of the fence on this. And initially, I was super excited about like prospecting, especially in baseball. So anyone that's familiar with baseball, prospects are the guys like in the minor leagues, and then you talk about like, hey, could this potentially be a player that makes the major leagues and has an impact like Mike Trout or whatnot. So prospecting is super exciting, but it's super high risk because the odds are that the players not only won't be very good, they won't even make the major leagues. That's baseball. In basketball and the NFL, they go right from college to the pros. So there's a better likelihood of knowing that if they have success in college and they get drafted right high in the first round or the first round somewhere, they're going to get a shot to be at least a player in the league. But you could still prospect, right? In any sport, even with basketball and even with football. So I got to tell you, like, I really was super excited when I first like heard about prospecting and getting into all those types of things in the beginning, because it was super sexy and super like interesting, right? Like to try to hit on the next Mike Trout or to try to hit on the next LeBron James. And so that was super exciting to me when I kind of look back in the hobby initially. However, my focus has really shifted into more collecting the guys that were proven, have had like Hall of Fame careers, and have really proven the fact that they've cemented who they are in their own way on the sport. So I've seen both sides. I've really worked on both sides in terms of at least collecting. And I got to tell you, I've had more enjoyment now later on, like with the collecting of the guys that have had a career that they've put together, that you could kind of look back and look at highlights and be like, man, this guy, made me remember like the times I was either doing fantasy football and did great, or just the fact that he dominated the league for a while. Those are the guys that now I'm more interested in. Yeah. But I can tell you, like, I don't think prospecting is going away anytime soon. Like, it's going to be here forever, because the upside, right, the risk reward on prospecting on any major sport is your margins. If you're looking to make money, right, in this hobby, that's going to be where you get the highest return. Would you agree?
Yeah, I mean, it depends where you're buying though, because some of these prices, I think the Jason Dominguez, correct me if I'm wrong, because Bowman first more than I do. His superfractor sold for, it wasn't like $250K.
Yeah, no, it was more than that. So the superfractor, which was graded at PSA 10, went for, with the buyer's fee, it went to above $500,000, like 500 something thousand. So
that's what I'm saying. Where's the upside there? Like, I would say you're almost buying the upside. So he needs to become the best player of our generation. Then it'll probably go to $1 million or something. I mean, obviously, if you have the money, do whatever you want. It's just, it's whatever. It's up to you. But I just feel like when you're gambling so high on these prospects that are not proven, you risk a lot. A lot of downside.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if you have the funds to kind of do something like that, sure. But you brought this up to me, and I thought about it a little bit. And when you think about the excitement and that, like, sort of that high risk, high reward aspect of prospecting, or the Zions of the world, right? All of these different players that have not really done it on the court just yet at the professional level. It all comes down to speculation. Like, that's basically what it is. And then I thought about it a little further, and I was like, well, all right, you're speculating, but what does that mean? And in my opinion, I feel like, and you let us know in the comments, you're speculating basically that this particular player, whether it's Wander Franco, whether it's Zion, whether it's like Ja Morant, right, before everything happened with Ja, you're speculating that this player is going to hopefully be like the best ever, right? Or considered to be one of the best ever. Could this player sneak his way or her way into the Mount Rushmore, let's say the greatest four of all time? Like, that's before the player even hits the professional court. Like, and that's sometimes what the prices people are willing to pay. Like, Zion is a great example. I actually think about, I'm looking at this real quick. I'll show you, give me 1 second, and I'm going to show you this. You see the pop report?
Yes.
All right. So quick, this is just like, this kind of proves this whole theory of this, like, this speculation part. But basically, I think I had heard about the Zion Williamson. So these are the most graded cards of all time from PSA, just graded cards that people have sent in. And when you look here, number one of all time, I guess, is this 2020, which is in the middle of really that, like, pandemic, like, card boom. The Pokemon Black Star promo Charizard versus Champions Path Elite. Don't know much about that card, but let us know in the comments if you know that that's something that's been really overgraded. But look who's number two. So 2019 Panini Prism Zion rookie, right? This card right here with this image is the second most graded card of all time at PSA. And PSA has graded a lot of cards. Then you got Hall of Famers like Ken Griffey Jr., like one of the greats of all time, Michael Jordan, right, the GOAT. Like, then you start seeing some names that you're like, okay, I can understand how this guy got graded so much, right? Because people want a 10 in that particular rookie card or whatever. But there's no way Zion Williamson should have more graded cards than like Ken Griffey Jr. and like Michael Jordan.
And what's concerning about that too is look at the dates, the difference. Like, those cards were just made, and look at how many have gone to grading versus 1989, 1990, 1989. Like, so it also shows that we're probably definitely in the time of overproduction, at least for base cards.
Yeah, that's a great point. Yeah, look at the years, 89, 90, 89. These cards have been around for so many more years, and Zion's far and away, been graded a lot more. And this is just one particular Zion card, right? This is just card number 248 of that, 2019 set. So again, the speculation, the fact that Zion was going to be the greatest of all time, potentially, right, is or one of the, Mount Rushmore type guys, is why people would send those cards to get graded, right? Like, why else would you send that card to get graded?